Good evening. As you may be aware, a portal has opened in the Pacific Rim. Monsters have been coming out rapidly through our streets, through our towns. It's becoming a more recurrent issue. As you may know, we have successfully designed the monsters, the actual robots. Too similar from the Power Rangers, but that was our kind of inspiration for the designs, and it's obviously proven to be very effective in dealing with these monsters. I propose to you now a series of ideas that we can use to stop these monsters once and for all. Simply just stopping them is one method, and it's working for now, but there will be a time, well, not just one monster will come out, but 2, 3, even 5. And I propose to you is a seriously deadly risk to the public, and could be catastrophic if not done right. The first idea I have to have here right now is a person that we can design. I'm going to call her the Kristen Stewart. Her cold performances in the Twilight series has proven to be unbelievably boring, dull, and just emotionless. I think we can use that to our advantage, especially when dealing with these monsters. Someone like that, they will not know what's coming. I found her facial expressions alone will kind of put the monsters off guard a little bit, monsters like that. I also have another idea along with her. That's, if you don't mind me saying, Mr. Chairman, which I think is the most effective use to kind of distract these monsters if that one does not work. I propose creating a movie that is so marketable and so gullible that it will relate to every kind of target audience out there. Horror fans, book readers, teenagers, adults. A film that is so easy to make and so gullible of a movie that people actually will defend this movie to being actually good and watchable and likeable, even though it is terribly bad. I would call it World War Z.
Today we are canceling the apocalypse!
Media Award, and welcome to my review for Pacific Rim. I watched this movie recently today. I have the ticket to confirm it. There you go, folks. Awesome stuff. And what can I say? Awesome movie, very well done. Guillermo del Toro, fantastic visionary director, fantastic work with Hellboy, Pan's Labyrinth. Gifted director, gifted storyteller, and he did a fantastic job with this movie. He delivered more than just a simple kind of robots versus monsters. He gave a story, he gave characters, and he gave a good, well done movie for sure. And I definitely say this is one of his best movies yet by miles. So let's talk about Pacific Rim.
Why did you black out the sun?
So the story of Pacific Rim follows the idea what happens if monsters didn't come from the sky but came from deep within the Pacific Ocean, and basically a portal opens and these kind of monsters and creatures come out of it, and the United Nations, people around the world come together, set aside their differences to create these kind of mega suits, these giant robots that can, basically these kind of operators can control and basically stop these creatures once and for all. And basically things go wrong within the movie, and it's about dealing with it and the idea of basically on a coming apocalypse, something big is coming, and we got to face it, we got to survive it, and it's the idea of preparing for the end and the final stand in a sense. We are cancelling the apocalypse. That is the full motive of that quote, and the film is absolutely fantastic. It's definitely more than I was expecting to see. In terms of storyline, fantastic. I mean, the trailers make it out to be just a very simple kind of monsters versus, robots in a sense. This is definitely not Transformers. Now, this is going to be the most obvious comparison. Transformers is a very different movie from this movie, I have to say. Transformers is about, like, obviously robots coming from the sky, and it's the idea of them settling on Earth, and they deal with other enemy robots out there. It's a very simple kind of concept, and the story in those movies are not really well shined. They're just teen characters or kind of soldier characters, and they're just, you know, lots of fights within cities. This one is a lot more humanized, I think, a bit more, and I think they got more stronger characters, got more of a specific story in this one, and I think it just feels a lot more realistic. In all fairness, this is basically, I feel like I can actually believe this actually would happen in a real life situation if this actually happened, and it definitely gives you more than I was expecting it would. I mean, there's 3 major acts in the movie, 3 major fight scenes. Some you probably would have seen within the trailer, but definitely the 3rd act of the movie, it saves the best to last, and trust me, you do not see any of it in the trailer for sure. It is fantastic, really good. And in between that, you get really good strong character development, you get really good background story, you get a really good kind of, you know, relationship setups, and really good kind of psychic characters, and there's just a really well done, structured in terms of pacing wise, absolutely fantastic. This is a movie, it's 2 hours and 12 minutes long, and it felt like a 3-hour movie. There's a point in the movie where I felt like, you know, wow, this could be end of now. This could actually, that is the final battle, and I could walk out right now a very happy man, and actually gives you like another hour of the movie. I don't understand what the pacing is. It's like every frame of the shot is like very, very important. There's not a single frame that actually lags or drags or anything along those lines. Every frame is very important to the main story, and it gives you more information and keeps you know about the characters and the backgrounds and who they are. And I just felt visually, scope wise, absolutely fantastic, and you actually give a shit about who these people are. And there's definitely some kind of, even some of the side characters which you don't really know that much about, even they were actually really good, really nice and flaky, and get the personality. So every character is likable and relatable in situations, and there's definitely some really good touching moments. Even some of the side characters get some really good, you know, good screen time between like father and son, or dealing, you know, with the loss of, you know, lost ones. You know, it's about that. And you know, the best character of the entire movie, I have to say, hands down, is Idris Elba's character. Of course, he plays Luther in the TV show, and he's just badass as hell. I mean, the man is a gifted actor. He can act fantastic. Basically, he can act really, really well. He can get a good emotional scene. He's badass as well, and I just love his lines. You know, 1, you do not touch me. 2, you do not touch me. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The character is just so likable and badass, and you know, you can really feel like he's got a lot of weight on his shoulders, and you can definitely tell that he's actor, you know, believes in this project, that believes in this kind of operation, and he really wants the best for his team, and he really wants to win this war. And he's definitely got a background, a history with some of the characters, and he's definitely a likable character. Our kind of main character is kind of Charlie Uman, I think his name is, if I got that wrong. He's from Sons of Anarchy, and as a main kind of hero protagonist character, I don't think he was strong enough, in all fairness. I felt he did the job quite well. I have to agree with Chris Stuttman and you know, Jeremy Johns. I have to agree with them on what I say. His character got the job done in a sense, but if he died, I wouldn't really care, in all fairness. So you kind of got that kind of feel. But I felt he was a likable character start to finish. He's a good actor, and I think he's definitely got potential to be an even stronger actor in the future. The cinematography in this movie is absolutely fantastic. Guillermo del Toro, of course, brilliant in terms of visionary scope. You know, Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy, fantastic. He definitely makes these creatures and monsters, and the robots, of course, feel like absolutely enormous. He definitely angles them perfectly well, from undershots, from aerial shots, and he just does them really well. Well, I can actually know what's on the screen. I know, you know, there's actually scenes where you're like, yes, I can actually see what's going on in this movie and actually tell what just happened with that fight scene. The action scenes between the actual monsters and the actual robots were absolutely fantastic. You know, some of the best action fight scenes, I think. It's definitely set the bar really high for these type of monster movies now in genres. I think, you know, Transformers was this high. Pacific Rim was definitely, you know, off the screen high kind of thing, massive. I think Godzilla, the upcoming movie, is in big, big trouble. That's going to pay off massively. I think the bar's been set so high in this genre now, I think it's going to be very hard to make another movie that's going to beat this kind of scale. And I think if they do another movie like this, or maybe a cinema movie, they're definitely going to capture what made this movie so good in terms of characters, in terms of story, in terms of, you know, exploration, and just, you know, adding that extra element into it I just didn't expect. I mean, there's definitely some scenes and some, you know, kind of story arcs which I didn't see coming, or, you know, I didn't think they were going to explore that aspect of it. So I was generally quite impressed. Basically, all you need to know about this movie is a fun action movie from start to finish, with a very strong narrative storyline, characters that you care about, you got a backstory, you got a set focus where the story's going to go, and it just delivers in every way possible. If I give this a rating system, I would give it like a 9 out of 10. And I think if you're a monster fan, if you like Godzilla, you like your monster movies, you're definitely definitely going to get behind this movie for sure. You're definitely going to love it, what it does. It definitely delivers in terms of a story, in terms of an action movie as well, and the pacing is just fantastic. So I would definitely recommend you go and check it out. You know, you're going to get your full money's worth. Go and watch it in IMAX 3D, go and watch it in 2D, go and watch it in 3D, whatever format you want to watch. You can absolutely love it. It's a blast from start to finish. And yeah, the bar's been set so high in this movie now. I've just fully enjoyed it. It was a really good experience from start to finish. I definitely recommend it. So that's been my review for Pacific Rim. I hope you enjoyed watching this review. I've used some of what you do. Think you think it was good? Do you think it was bad? Let us know in your comments. In the meantime, just signing out.